सभासदों, माननीय उपसभापति जी,
No supplementary list of business. Papers to be. No, let me finish it. Papers to be laid on the table. Supplementary. Sri Arun Jaitley. It's over. It's only laying.
Chairman, I beg to lay on the table of the House, under Article 281 of the Constitution, a copy in English and Hindi of the report of the 14th Finance Commission, Volume 1 and 2, and explanatory memorandum on the action taken by the recommendations contained in the report of the 14th Finance Commission.
Okay, thank you. Now, motion for withdrawal of the bill. If all of you speak, what do I do? If all of you speak, what do I do? Yes, I will come to you. No, let me say.
अच्छे बिल है, हम इसको पास कराना चाहते हैं, क्यों आप विड्रॉ कर रहे हैं?
No, सुनिए.
इसको आप रखें, बिल पास कराना चाहते हैं. हम सब लोग राजी, आप बिल रखें, हम लोग बिल पास कराएंगे.
I will allow you. Don't worry. I will allow. Naresh ji Baiti. See, let the motion come, then only I can. Motion for withdrawal of the bill. Coal Mines Special Provisions Bill 2014. Sri Payus Goyal to move the following motion, that is for withdrawal.
Sir, I'd just like to mention about...
Are you moving?
सर, मैं रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूंगा लीडर ऑफ हाउस से, जो ये 3 ऑर्डिनेंसेस को विड्रॉ करने की अनुमति हाउस से चाहते हैं.
बिल.
ये 3 बिल, ये 3 बिल अभी तो ऑर्डिनेंस ही हैं. यहां जो पेश किए गए थे, ये अब हाउस की प्रॉपर्टी है. ये ठीक है कि सरकार जब भी चाहे वो हाउस की अनुमति से इसको विड्रॉ कर सकते हैं, लेकिन हमने इस पे अभी चर्चा ही नहीं की है. चर्चा सरकार को कैसे मालूम हम इसका विरोध करेंगे, इसका समर्थन करेंगे? तो ये मेरे ख्याल में उचित नहीं होगा कि बहस के बगैर ही, चर्चा के बगैर ही इनको इस सदन से विड्रॉ किया जा रहा है. मेरी रिक्वेस्ट होगी अपनी तरफ से, अपनी साथियों की तरफ से भी, कि अगर इनको विड्रॉ न किया जाए तो अच्छी बात है, वरना मुझे अफसोस से कहना पड़ेगा कि हमें इसमें अनुमति देने में हमें शायद दिक्कत आएगी. हमारे लिए बहुत मुश्किल होगा सरकार का इस मामले में सही योगदान.
So please go. Okay. Now,
I really request the honorable leader to just listen to me.
Okay. Okay, please.
Sir, there are 2-3 points that I wish to bring up. First of all, this motion for withdrawal of the bills. These bills were pending before the House and the property of the House. In order to bypass that House's decision, that is what has been perceived. I don't know what was the government.
No, House can oppose it and what?
No, please listen to me. Please listen to me. Why I am saying this? That ordinances were brought. Now, after the ordinances were brought in by the Union Cabinet, you are now moving that the bill should be withdrawn. If the bills were to be withdrawn, why were the ordinances brought in first place? If the ordinances were not to be ratified, why did you bring those ordinances, and instead of ratifying the ordinances, you are now withdrawing the bills? Number 2, sir, as far as these bills are concerned, on one of them, the select committee has been constituted. It has given a report. The report is now the property of the House. Now, while we are in the process of legislating, the meaning of such withdrawal, I think, is against the propriety of the House and the proceedings we have followed so far. So, that is why I am only requesting the government, the ruling benches and the leader of the House to please reconsider it seriously. Okay. Let us debate the bill. Okay. Let us debate the bill, and we have already moved a motion on it that we are opposing this withdrawal. So let us debate the bills and whatever and sir, as far as the one of the bills that I had been associated in as the chairman of the Parliamentary Standing Committee, and in studying it thoroughly and giving a very long report to the ministry, which was considered by the ministry, 88 official amendments and some 98 changes have brought in, plus 98 changes. Then we said out of 180 changes, why do you want to bring the old bill, then bring a new bill? That bill was passed by the Lok Sabha, it was brought here for approval. Then when all these objections were raised, then now they are saying at this stage, after 5 years, now at this stage the government is proposing to withdraw the bill. Sir, there has to be some merit and some meaningful consideration
The
before such
government will
proposals are
explain.
made. So that's
Government
why
will
I think
explain.
please consider it
Okay, now.
properly. My
Yeah, yeah.
appeal to the leader.
Derek,
of
you
the
are
House,
given notice.
Consider it properly and then.
You are given motion for opposition. So you speak.
So therefore, I want to asking you to accept a motion that has been given on behalf of our party that not to withdraw these bills.
Okay, your motion comes only when he moves the
Sir.
motion. Yes.
I just want to add, the leader of the opposition summed it up beautifully. The spirit in which he said what he said. Yes, we have moved motions because we are opposed to the withdrawal. As my colleague Sitaram ji is also opposed to the withdrawal, we've given the motion. So in the spirit which the LOP summed this entire thing up, speaking for all of us, we hope in that spirit, because in that spirit, if the leader of the house accepts it, then it's the best solution to this issue. We are all together.
You are?
I want to add one point.
You have given a notice?
Only one point. I have submitted a notice that is for statutory motion against these ordinances. 3 ordinances.
Now
I
when
have
it comes,
submitted them. If
you
the
will be
government
given
is
an
interested,
opportunity
we
at
have
that
taken
time.
the statutory motions first.
No,
If the
no.
government is
No,
interested
no,
to discuss
listen.
it, then we take the
No,
statutory
no.
motions first.
Yes,
Then
Rajiv ji,
And the statutory
that
motions
is,
have been
see,
repeated.
that is when the bill is introduced to replace the ordinance, at that time your objection will be taken
no,
up.
sir. No, sir. No, that is not needed.
You please go through your rules of procedure. You have admitted this statutory motion.
Yeah,
Statutory motions are also property of the House.
yeah.
And statutory motions according to rule are motions that cannot be left pending.
Yeah.
They have to be disposed of.
Yeah,
No,
disposed.
that is also property of the House.
Yeah.
Admitted.
Yeah.
Now you are not disposing that of. And then you are saying we'll withdraw the bill. No, it is not, according to rules, it is not permissible, sir.
See, this is not, okay, please.
Sir, I am extremely grateful to the Honorable Leader of Opposition. I do appreciate the spirit in which he has made that suggestion. Mr. Yachuri twice mentioned that we should try and understand his point. I have understood the point that he has stated, and I have also understood the actual point that he has in mind.
My good friend leader of the opposition's capacity is to understand what has
So we know each other. We know each other for more than 40 years. We've literally grown up together, so I know the way Mr. Yachuri's mind is functioning. Sir, in all the 3 cases, ordinances have been proclaimed. Today you have a valid law in existence. When there is a valid law in existence, that law has to be introduced in one of the houses, let's say in this case the Lok Sabha, and a bill substituting that ordinance has to be simultaneously introduced. Now, if there is a valid law in existence, an earlier law, identical or otherwise, pending in one of the houses as a bill becomes infructuous. I cannot understand the attachment which some of the honorable members may have to an infructuous piece of legislation. But since there is an element of attachment to an infructuous piece of legislation, it does no harm to me if the calendar of this house and its schedule continues to be occupied by a law which will never see the light of the day, because another piece of legislation, if it is passed by the other house, will be transmitted to this house, and once it is transmitted to this house, it will be taken up for consideration. So if an earlier pending bill, identical or otherwise, is pending in this house, what we are trying to suggest is that this Constitution has conferred and presumed a certain amount of constitutional wisdom as far as this house is concerned. And one of the wisdom is that this house doesn't deal with infructuous pieces of legislation. But if the honorable members because of the reality of the legislative numbers, want an infructuous speech of legislation to occupy the calendar and space of this house, I have no difficulty. Let it be occupied. Once that new bill becomes a law, the infructuous bill, which today you say is the property of the house, can be gifted to each one of you.
With all respect to the leader of the opposition, the leader of the
People's motions to withdraw these infructuous pieces of bills may be deferred for the
Sir, I want to make this point, it's important. And just like, since the leader of the house has spoken, and like he said that we know each other for 40 years, and because he's spoken, I can also understand what he has not spoken. And there he said, because of the numbers here, the point is very clear. The term that I used in the last session, I repeat that, because of the lack of a majority here, they want to use the tyranny of majority of the other house. And that is why this happened.
No.
Number one. Number two, sir.
He said he is agreeable to differing.
Number two, sir. Sir.
Yeah.
Reflecting the
Yeah,
wisdom of
that's
the people.
correct.
You examine.
They have been defeated by the people.
Expense.
Sir.
They have been
If it is
knocked
referred to the other
out
house, it is
and
expense.
calling it
Sir.
tyranny.
Sir.
Trying to be
Sir,
disrespectful.
whatever-
Tyranny of the other house is expense.
My learned minister of law, you cannot expunge it. Last session is on record.
No, for tyranny of the other house. That is-
Tyranny of majority. Not
Tyranny of majority, I didn't say.
No, the term is.
Tyranny of the other house.
Sorry.
Mr. Yachuri
The tyranny of majority of the other
I'll
house.
go.
Mr. Yachuri
Sir.
cannot insult the
Sir,
people.
sir,
I'm sorry.
What I have said is clear, is the tyranny of the majority in the other house. It's not of the other house. Secondly, sir, the leader of the.
The gist of what Mr. Yachuri says is, a majority in this house represents the democratic spirit and a majority in the other house represents the tyranny. This is in effect what you are saying.
No, but Yachuri ji,
Please,
shall I ask?
Please, sir,
No,
sir,
please.
you'll have to
Yeah.
permit me to clarify this point.
Yeah.
The leader of the house has said a law exists, an ordinance exists. It is law until it is approved or disapproved by Parliament. Constitution of India specifies very clearly, unambiguously, within 6 months the ordinance has to be endorsed by the Parliament. Now, so therefore, if not this, that ordinance will come. This bill is already there. One has gone to the standing committee, detailed recommendations have come. One has gone to the select committee, after the standing committee, detailed recommendations have come. Now, all this is property of the house. So continue with those discussions and let us come to a conclusion.
No, I want to.
Why do you want to?
I want to ask a question.
That law doesn't.
I will allow you. Rajya, I will allow you. I want to ask a
I
question.
have a simple question. It is at the initiative of the government that these three will come up for discussion. We are not taking that initiative. As far as these motions are concerned, you may for the present defer them.
It can be different. No, if it is. No, the point is, if the government is prepared to defer it, should we have a discussion? Defer it.
Article 123, it is clearly stated that, sir, just a minute.
Yeah.
This bill is the property of the house. The
So-
ordinance already
so
laid
what?
on the table of the house.
So,
Just let me complete,
Yeah.
sir. The ordinance is laid on the table of the house.
Yeah.
When ordinance is the property of the house.
Yeah.
The bill is the property of the house.
Yeah.
But the difference is, as per Constitution, Article 123,
Yeah.
this ordinance shall be laid before the both houses of Parliament
Yeah.
and shall cease to be operate at
So
the
it's
expiration
there.
of 6
So
weeks
what?
from the re-assembly of Parliament.
So what?
When this ordinance be lapsed after 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But this bill, that is the permanent property of this house. That is the permanent, it is not
Yeah.
infructuous. It is not infructuous.
No,
This
that
the
is not-
permanent
no,
property
that
of the
is not
bill.
the point.
And that point is not valid.
no, it is, see, please, now, see the point, see, the position is very clear, please. Now, please, order, no, listen. Now, see, matter is, now listen please, matter is very simple. You know the ordinances are there, they are already the law of the land until or unless you disapprove it in this house. That disapproval has not been done, so it is there, that is why. it is for the government. If the government wants, I am saying, it is for the government, if the government wants to bring a bill in place of the ordinance, which government may or may not do, it is not our job. As far as I am concerned, there are 3 bills for withdrawal, and leader of the house himself has suggested that government is willing to defer it. Then let us defer it and defer it and then go to the next business, not right to the business. I think that's okay. Okay.
Honest auctions. The members here who are opposing this thing must acknowledge to the nation that they don't want honest auctions of They want to do corrupt practices.
What are you saying? Why are you?
Sir,
Why are you saying this?
sir, please. Mr. Deputy Chairman, sir.
All of you are speaking, I can't hear.
No, you give me an opportunity. आप हमको मौका दीजिए बोलने का.
Yes, Anshama.
Sir, I have to say something. Please, sir. Sir, I am not getting into. हम लोग शांति से बैठे हुए.
Samaji, we are deferring it in the light of that you
Sir,
say.
I am on a different issue. The matter is not of deferring. We did not say anything to that. I have got up on a different subject. Sir, once the leader of the opposition raised it, and the leader of the house, and it is understanding of the constitution and the law, explained something and agreed from the government side to defer it, the house concurs with that. That's not the issue. But then this observation, please, अब समाप्त नहीं हुई, समाप्त नहीं हुई, समाप्त नहीं हुई, ये कहना पूरा देश सुन रहा है कि आप ईमानदारी से नीलामी ना हो खदानों की, ऑक्शन ऑनेस्ट हो ना हो, उसके लिए आप अपोज करते हैं. अगर आपको इफ द गवर्नमेंट वाज ओनली इंटरेस्टेड टू हैव द ओपन ट्रांसपेरेंट ऑक्शन, देयर वाज नो नीड ऑफ दिस ऑर्डिनेंस. द 2010 एक्ट इज सफिशिएंट एंड द गाइडलाइंस, it is backed on denationalization of coal. You are opening coal sector for private trade.
Without
The
taking over
intent
the
of the
mining
government is questionable.
infrastructure.
If they want to say, we have to question their
I'm surprised
intent.
the senior
If
leader
the backed on
does
denationalization
not
for
understand
private trade
that they have
and use is being done away with,
the
and
country's
we are
sales
being
of
accused
price.
that we don't have an honest intention, they should correct, and the minister must withdraw that.
Okay.
No, you must withdraw
No,
that.
that's okay.
I advise the minister to withdraw it. You withdraw this.
विड्रॉ क्या है? कोयले में घोटाला हुआ, विड्रॉ क्या करना है?
अरे क्या हुआ तो सामने आ जाएगा ना.
No, please.
कोर्ट ने खारिज किया.
अरे क्या बात कर रहे हैं?
कोर्ट ने
कुछ पढ़ दिया. सुप्रीम कोर्ट का ऑर्डर पढ़ो.
लोगों को नौकरियों से निकालना पड़ता.
मंत्री लोगों को कहिए कानून की क्लास में जाएं, या नेता सदन आपको कानून पढ़ा देंगे.
I will see.
लोग कानून नहीं जानते.
I heard it.
To why we are opposing this bill. Now that is not only unfair but patently wrong. I am charging the government of saying they are denationalizing the coal sector by bringing in that ordinance, and they are doing disservice.
see,
They
the
are doing
point is-
disservice to the country.
Okay, actually,
and
repeat it.
they are bringing that
No,
denationalization.
the point is,
I don't think they understand.
see,
That is,
I would,
sir, that
see,
is what we are doing.
you want to say something? Okay, jaldi bolo.
Speaking, I am not allowed.
What is the point?
My point is that once the matter has been settled after the
okay.
assurance given
Yeah,
by the
yeah.
honorable leader of the house,
Yeah.
how it is that the honorable minister in charge of the coal ministry, he has made an aspersion on the members of the opposition, questioning their integrity, questioning their motive. That should not be, that should be expunged from the record. That is number one. That is number one.
No, please.
That is number one.
Yes, sit down. No, sit down. No, see, sit down.
And
Sit down.
And
You made your point.
no, and
Sit
second
down.
point, last point.
ठीक है.
Last point, it is high time that the government should be put on auction to see whether there is any bidder
Okay,
for
okay.
the government or
Now,
not.
I would, see, now, Bhai, I would like, sit down. Sit down, sit down. I heard you. I am going. Let me now make my observation on that. Sri Achuri, I want to make your observation on what you said. So sit. Now, so you take your seat. All of you take your seat. See, I want to. Yes, I want to make this observation. Now, please, I want to make this. See, please. Now, please, I want to make this observation that every member in this house speaks. Every member in this house is an honest member and a person of a man of integrity. And whatever they say should be taken at the face value. Don't question the motive of a member what is speaking. That is all. That is all. That's all.